Welcome back to Celebrity Radio. It's Alex Belfield talking to some of the world's biggest stars and some of my favourite people and heroes. And today we tick all three boxes. Jimmy Tarbuck has been around for 50 years, starring at the London Palladium and making people laugh. And he's one of my favourite people. Jimmy, how are you?
A very good morning. Yeah, I'm good.
Hey, listen, thank you for being you. I'm a young fella relatively, but you have brought such pleasure to my life. I truly believe you're one of our greatest comics. Your timing's outstanding, and you're still at it. Congratulations.
Well, I'm still enjoying it, and I appreciate what you say. And while the energy is there, and that the enjoyment of doing it, you're very lucky in any walk of life if you go to work and you enjoy going to work.
It's interesting. There's a guy called Don Rickles in America who's...
Oh, I know him very well.
Well, he's quite old compared to you, but I think you've got the same thing about you. You can have an acid tongue when you want one, but you've got such warmth, we almost forgive you for anything. That's a rare skill in comedy, isn't it?
He was an insult comic in Vegas, and I was in the lounge one night watching him, and he would say all sorts of things. There was a great big guy, I mean about 24 stone, sat at the bar, and he said, "Now tell me, buddy, what do you do for a living?" And this guy didn't look up, he just said, "I'm a jockey." Well, Rickles couldn't move with laughter. The whole room was hearing, and he just couldn't move. I mean, it was a real great reply, that.
Yeah. Last week we lost Joan Rivers, again, another incredible pro.
Well, of course, she was a big fan, if you analyse her, to a great comic, Phyllis Diller. Phyllis Diller worked like she was the female Bob Hope, and Joan Rivers certainly watched her in her younger days, because Phyllis Diller was equally as good as Joan Rivers, but they were two great comics.
Yeah. My favourite Rivers line that was done in the eulogy was about how she told young women to be hot, not intelligent. She said, "No millionaire ever put his hand up your dress looking for a library card." I love that. These people are craftsmen, aren't they? And you're the same. Why aren't there more gag men now in Britain? It seems like they come on and tell us about what happened in the pub yesterday, but there's no punchlines anymore.
Well, they don't do jokes, do they? They take you on trips, and they take you around the world with observations.
It's interesting. I mean, when I saw your audience with, which I truly believe is one of the greatest examples of stand-up comedy, you're such a raconteur. You know so much, you've done so much, and you know so many people. You've got great stories. One of my favourite bits of that sticks in my mind was when you talk about the mayor coming on stage during a panto.
Dear Lord above. I mean, that was just mind-boggling, and you were open-mouthed, and you couldn't believe it was happening. You see, it's where you serve your apprenticeship. And believe me, there is an apprenticeship, and I was lucky. Who I worked with, I mean, if you go through them, what I call the greats: Milligan, Dodd, Morecambe and Wise, Les Dawson, Seacombe, Sellers. Working with all those, you watched and you learned, and then you saw comics, sometimes underrated comics. Like Frank Carson was a terrific comic.
Yeah.
Bang, 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 the gags, and he'd have the place in uproar, and if you needed 10 minutes of solid laughter, you'd stick Frank on.
Yeah. Johnny Casson's another one, isn't he? That's a good gag man.
Good comic, absolutely a good comic. Bernard Manning was, in the club sense of it.
Yeah.
You work them out and you say, hey, yeah, he can make them laugh.
Just before Bernard died, I saw him in Skegness, and there was a lady in a wheelchair on the front row. He walked straight to centre stage, looked down at her and said, "I don't feel sorry for you, love. I've had to walk here."
Forgot a raw. Forget the material. The approach and the attack was wonderful. And in the observation line of the comics, Billy Connolly is outstanding in his observations.
And again, there's a similarity between you and him. You can put you on a stage to do stand-up and you kill, and equally I can put you on a chat show to talk about stuff and you'll do just as well. That both are separate skills and a different art, aren't they? How did you manage to become good at both?
Well, in the case of the chat shows, the best host was undoubtedly Michael Parkinson, for one reason. He listened to you.
Yes.
A lot of these hosts don't listen. They're scoring points for themselves. But Parky was great. And, of course, Parky was an unbelievable giggler.
Yes.
And, you could say things, you say, good evening, Michael, how are you? You still seeing that big barmaid? But then he'd just start roaring laughing. He said, will you not do these things? I said, no, I won't.
Last Sunday night, I was up in Leeds to see Ken Dodd. You mentioned him earlier. He's celebrating 60 years in show business this week, actually. Next year, you celebrate 50 years. Can you believe it?
Well, I mean, I've actually done more than 50 years. I had that a few years ago because I started when I was 18 on the clubs. Wow. But Doddy, I mean, he has done more time on the stage than all of us put together.
Well, that's just 1 week, isn't it?
I mean, he goes on, and, I love all those lines. He says, do you give in?
Yeah.
That goes, I'll have you all home by Tuesday.
He's got a new one in the show last Sunday. He said, by the end of this, you'll know what a hostage situation feels like. I love the old boys, and the great thing about it is you're still as relevant today. And I said the same to him as I say to you. A good joke's a good joke. It doesn't matter whether...
Don't worry, people who analyse these things, yes, and you go about it that way, rhubarb. If it's a good gag, stick it in, tell it, and the people will laugh.
Mm. Now, when you go on stage, you are coming to Mansfield next month, and I'm going to come and see you because I can't wait to see you live with your audience. If it's not going as well as you hope, have you got 5 or 6 killer gags in your head that you know will fly regardless?
Oh, yeah, you've got the tried and trusted.
Right.
That just comes with experience.
Mm.
If you're going down one road, turn right and get off there.
Yes.
Let's go somewhere else.
Especially if it's a cul-de-sac. Yeah.
Well, if you go into one of them, you are up,
How thrilling is it to stand on a stage like the Mansfield Palace, having done, 50 years ago you were stood on the Palladium stage. We're going to get to Sunday night, the London Palladium in a minute, because I know you've been invited back. Is it still as exciting, or at this point, is it just like a walk in the park?
I just say to myself, right, wherever I am, be it Mansfield, be it Scunthorpe, be it Bournemouth, and that, right, here we go, you're walking on the Palladium.
Right.
And I treat everyone the same. They're not the same because that's the most famous theatre in the world, but you get on and you have a go.
Mm.
And you think, aren't I lucky doing this for a living? People laughing at me.
And have you...
And it becomes laughter, as the Lord Dodd will say, better than anybody. It is a drug.
Yeah. And I don't want to get too up my own backside about this, but have you figured out why you've lasted and he's lasted and some disappeared very quickly? Because it is brutal, the business, isn't it?
If I knew that, I'd bottle it.
Yes.
But no, I don't know why. And I just, I quote to you the words of the great. And when great's an overused word in our business, but the great Eric Morecambe.
Mm.
I was in the dressing room with him, in Tommy Cooper's dressing room on the Royal Command performance in 1964, and he said, young man, you've got something, never look or find out what it is.
Right.
And I never have.
I remember Jethro saying that. He said he never watched one of his videos because he might see something he didn't like, change it, and that might be the reason that they bought the video.
If you've done something wrong, and you know you can watch yourself and say, right, I got that all the wrong way round.
Yeah.
But I'm not one who watches myself.
It's interesting. I mean, when I watch you on the TV, and especially when I watch these old clips at the Palladium, I mean, there's you and Bruce who basically nailed that gig, didn't you, really? You were the reliable host that they turned to. They're bringing it back now. My fear is it going to work? Do you think people are still interested to see it? And will they give us the variety acts that you gave us 50 years ago?
Well, that I don't know, but I was very thrilled this week when I've been invited back on, and they're having 6 different hosts, I'm led to believe, and on the show that I'm doing, it's Bradley Walsh,
brilliant,
fine young comic and a good actor, and a good game show host. So he's doing very well in that business, and they said, would you want to do it? I said, try and keep me away.
Yeah,
because that theatre changed my life totally, and it's just a thrill walking on that stage. And if you've anything about you and about love of our business, you know they've all been on there. All the ghosts are there.
Yeah.
All of them. Whoever you like, the Beatles, Bob Hope, Crosby, Sinatra, Tom Jones, Bassey, just keep going. Chevalier. They've all been on there. Nureyev.
Yeah.
And you go, dear God, they've all been on this stage, and here am I. How lucky am I to be walking on here?
Yeah. Again, when I see you do those type of shows, and it's the same with Rivers, actually, one of the reasons I'm so taken by you is you look like you're having such fun, and B, you find yourself so bloody funny. Do you think that's a key as well? If you look like you're enjoying it, they're a bit dour these days. You guys look like you're having the time of your lives. Is that important to you?
Well, I mean, you know, you're a lucky man when you go to work and you enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I do.
Yeah.
And I mean, I really do. And Billy Connolly loves getting up there. You mentioned him. Young John Bishop has suddenly found his feet and is getting up there.
Right.
You know, you go, yeah, this will do. This is lovely. And especially when it's in what I call you're playing in the Premier League.
Yeah.
And the Palladium is that. It don't come better than that.
Right. I read Bruce's autobiography once. I haven't seen you write about this, but he talked about the money that he was paid to do those Palladium shows, and you could basically buy a house per show if you wanted in those days. How rock and roll was it for you? How fun was it? And did you pinch yourself every time your accountant phoned?
Well, I mean, you know, you go on there, and suddenly I was 23, and they said, we're going to ask you to host it. And in those days, you were getting £1,000 a week.
Right.
When I suppose the average wage was about £20.
Mm.
You thought, well, this is unbelievable. Then it's horses for courses now. Money becomes, well, yes, of course it is a part of it, but it's not the be-all and end-all of it. And I don't say that, it's all right. It's lovely.
Yeah.
And can it bring you happiness? No, it can bring you comfort, though.
Right. And security, I suppose. I mean, that's...
Yes, total security. I mean, you know, I don't pin medals here, but the first time that I got any money, I bought my mother and father a house.
Oh, lovely.
And Pauline and the family understood that. I said, don't worry about us, we're going to be fine.
Mm.
But I saw them all right, and her mum and dad, and it's wonderful to be in that position.
Right.
That is wonderful. And you look back and you think, oh dear, what a carousel I've been on, and I've been lucky to stay on it, going round on it.
And I can't help but feel you've had the best days. I mean, even from the money point of view, it probably hasn't gone up. I mean, the fees are ridiculously low now because there's so many people who want to do it, who are willing to do it for nothing. There'll never be that comparison. I mean, you're never going to get somebody getting £1 million. That's probably the relative value between what you were paid and you'd be paid today. It's interesting how the business has changed, hasn't it, over those 50 years?
Well, of course, the biggest change as far as comedy is concerned is without doubt are these arena shows where these guys go on now, you know, and they're playing to 20,000 people in some cases a night, and if it's £50 a ticket, you work that out at the O2, and if they can sell it out like Peter Kay does, for like, I don't know, how many nights he does there, 7 nights?
Yeah, I think he did 150 on his last tour, didn't he? 150 arenas.
You know, and you look at them and think, dear Lord above.
Yeah.
I mean, the money in my day was never like that. It was wonderful, but not like where you got over £1 million in a week.
Yeah.
You know, the only way you got that is if you did a very successful advert.
Yes.
You know.
Were you ever the face of anything? I can't remember.
Yeah.
What were you?
Yes, I did. I did a few. I did Sharp Microwaves for 3 years.
Did you?
And I was on every bus in every town all over the place. And the observation of the continuity girl or boy, whoever it was, I put a chicken in a microwave with the cellophane wrapper still on it.
Right.
And it was only when they got letters from viewers saying, that's bloody dangerous. He's putting that in with the wrapping still on. And they had to show it again. Well, of course, I got hilarity out of it when I went on the stage, when it was current. Yes. Hi, come along and have your shared dollars, blah, 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 and put it in. You put it, shut the end in 15 minutes. There's your meal, fellow, for your dad, and boom, just in from work. Wonderful. Someone said, hi, Dad's going to enjoy having a mouthful of cellophane, isn't he? Oh, my God. But nobody noticed it.
That's PRs for you.
Oh, that was hysterical.
Yeah. You know when you do that rapid gunfire stuff, you just went and did a bit of it then. What's your brain thinking, or are you not thinking? Is it just your mouth talking and trusting?
Sometimes it gets ahead of my mouth. Oh, yes. And that's what you never want to get. When I walked on the Palladiums, and, you know, you'd have an enormous amount of people. In the early days, when there was only two stations, like BBC and ATV, there was not even BBC Two, you would have like 20 million viewers certain times.
Wow.
Which is unheard of today. But you'd walk on, and I always made myself go, good evening. And that was me having a breath.
Right.
It's like Doddy going, by Jove, by Jove, what a wonderful day. And he could calm. And Frankie Howard going, oh, no, listen, oh, don't, you know. And Eric looking at Ernie going, now then, Ern, you know, and then doing the wig gag and all that with him. That's your way of trying to dispel some nerves. Yeah. Waiting for the first laugh. Yeah. And when you got a first good laugh, well, it'd be like taking an aspirin. Right. You know, the headache went and you went, phew, I'm in here, let's go.
Did the pressure ever get the better of you? Because, I mean, those TV shows are huge.
Because of one word, live.
Right.
When they're live, you're there, warts and all.
Yeah.
And seeing someone go is not a very nice thing. And it happened on about 2 occasions with comics with me. And I just said to David Bell, who was my producer in the wings, get me on. I said, he's gone. And I could see from in their eyes the fear. Right. And it shows in the eyes. He'd go on and say, thank you very much, let's hear it for Billy Johnson, or whatever the names were. Yeah. And afterwards they'd come up to you and they'd say, thanks very much. Right. Because they'd say to you, I've gone.
Yeah, if an audience smell fear, they'll turn on you like a Rottweiler, won't they?
Don't. And some of these comedy clubs, well, you get 5 fellas who've come out of work, gone on the alehouse and had a few snorts down them. They come in to bait people. Yeah. The bold Bernard Manning, for instance, because he'd tell them to F off. You know, but that's just not me. That used to always make me, and people can talk and go, oh dear. I say, but it used to make me laugh.
Same here.
There's no answer to that. You'd say, what a great ad-lib that was. My God.
And have you got a few stuck up there just in case? I mean, you're doing nice venues now.
A few tried and trusted there are.
Yeah.
But I mean, you don't go on looking for that. I certainly don't.
No.
I go on to have a good time and enjoy myself.
And we're not encouraging it, but it can get a big laugh, can't it? If you come back with a great line and shut someone up.
But you should win all the time because of one reason. You've got the microphone.
Yes.
And more people can hear you.
Yeah, and you've hopefully got a security guard that can kick them out at the very least.
Oh, yes, or you've got the door open and the car engine running.
Exactly. Your daughter's doing very well, isn't she? I like hearing her on the radio.
She's doing great, our Lizzie.
Yeah, good for her. And she's got one of those lovely voices.
Yeah, but she enjoys her work.
Yeah.
And if I've impressed anything on her, I'd say enjoy it. I don't care what you do for a living. If you don't enjoy it, God, what a miserable time you'll be having. Yeah. Oh, I've got to go there again. Right. The only thing I dislike about my job, my occupation, is at times the traffic. You know what that's like, driving a car.
Yeah.
You think how long it's going to take to get here. I mean, if it's 60 miles away, you should do that if there's a motorway in about an hour. Yeah. But you know, it doesn't work like that. You can be on there and sat there on the M25. Well, you can sit there for 3 hours.
All right, I'm thinking about this money you earned at the Palladium. What about a helicopter, Jimmy? I mean, you could fly into Mansfield that way.
No, thank you.
No.
Not for me.
Not into a chopper?
Those are for the birds. They ain't for me, them things.
Very finally, I just want to apologise. I don't particularly want to talk about it, but I want to apologise for what you went through last year. Nobody deserves that.
What can you do? That the only thing that really annoyed me more than anything, apart from the lies, the total lies, was that they remain anonymous.
Yeah.
and no one knows who they are. I think these people, if they're going to accuse you, like in the Cliff Richard case, and Jim Davidson and Freddie, name the people.
Yeah.
Because they might turn out that people say, oh, hang on, they've done that before with so-and-so. It upset my family, it upset me, it was a lot of stress.
Yeah.
But you do find out who your friends are in cases like that.
And I suppose that's the only light at the end of the horizon. I mean, for me, it's unthinkable in 2014 that it can be a PR exercise for a police force to put 8 officers into your house when you're not even there, make a public spectacle of it with no proof whatsoever, no charge whatsoever, and potentially ruin your career. There should be a court case for where you can go to be recompensed for that, because it's unbelievable.
Or you wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning with a knock on the door. And listen carefully to this now, and there's 14 policemen up your drive. And you've got to go, what?
Have they learned any lessons? I mean, that's the most important question. Do you think they've learned?
They would turn around and say, and I suppose, that if you get people accusing you of these things, they have to be investigated. I'm all for that. But you've got to have a certain parity along the way of fair play.
Right.
I'll say fair enough. Who's doing it? No, the law said they must remain anonymous. And I totally disagree with that. I hope it gets changed. And it might be with what's coming out.
Well, as far as I can see, Cliff's case is totally untenable. I mean, the BBC and the police between them have done such a great job. Even if there was a case, it will never get to court. I mean, they've completely scuppered themselves as far as I can see.
He's a decent guy, him.
Yeah.
I know him very well. Our career started the same.
Yeah.
In 58, he had Move It.
Yeah.
And that's when I started. I won a talent contest at Butlins. And he's a nice guy. I don't know about his private life, but I've never seen him do anything untoward or anything. He's just a nice, decent fellow.
Yeah. And even if it is, it's not for the media to judge, the way I see it. That's for the police privately.
No, but the way they went about it was totally a load of you-know-what, and just quite disgraceful. Next question.
Yeah, I just want to apologise, because you didn't deserve it.
Apologise. Yeah. No need to. It's there. And I would talk about it and give my side of what is just moments of just bloody stupidness and total disbelief.
Yeah, yeah.
And one day when I write it all out, people won't believe what I write. And they say, it wasn't really like that, was it? You say, yes, it was. Blatant, total lies.
Yeah.
Next question, kid.
Yeah, listen, I'm going to come and see you in Mansfield. We're looking forward to seeing you back on Sunday night at the London Palladium. What a great thing
that'd be nice.
It really will. And again, I want to thank you for the laughs. I wonder sometimes whether you people realise how great you are at what you do, and the fun and the love that you bring into our lives. Doing it for so long, so consistently, most importantly, so well, and never selling out is one of the most great tributes I think you can have paid to you. So many people are famous for nothing these days. You've actually got an act, which has got to be nice.
That's very nice, yeah. I've got to tell you, I enjoy myself. I'm eternally grateful for what's happened to me and the people, even over my problems, the loyalty of the British public toward me has been just absolutely incredible. Yeah. And I've loved every minute of my adventure. And I hope it's not over yet.
Yeah, may it continue for a long time. One of my favourite comedians. One of the most brilliant people to see on stage. If you get a chance to see him on tour, go and see Jimmy Tarbuck. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.